Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Hanna, Season 1, Episode 8. It is called Utrax. It is the season finale, so full spoilers for the episode as always, and indeed, full spoilers for the whole season now, so we can talk about it in whole. But this episode, Hanna and Eric are together. He actually is honest with her, like, more than he's ever been. He pulls out the report of the candidates
Yeah,
and
it's like,
says,
hey, look at there are all these girls that are there.
and it's Hanna who makes the choice. And I think one of the things that's impressive about her character throughout this show is that while she is kind of this, fish out of water, and while she is kind of like experiencing things for the first time, she's got very strong convictions. It doesn't take her long after seeing this to turn around and say, "We're going to get them out." And that's what we're doing, and you will not argue with me, Eric.
Yeah, I mean, it says a lot about how he was raising her, doesn't it? Because obviously, while she was completely alone and cut off from society, she didn't just get those morals from nowhere.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So we have this big assault on the Utrax base, and the one girl that we did kind of get to know, 249, who was it, Carla that her name turned out to be? Carly, maybe.
I can't remember the
Damn it,
actual name.
249. She's 249 for now. Next season will come in strong with her real name.
Yeah, when it matters more.
Yeah. So it turns out that she wasn't the one who ended up fighting Hanna. She's the one who actually ends up going with Hanna.
Yeah.
Everyone else is so disciplined. I almost said that kind of lisp there. Everyone else goes with
There's a lot more of them than I thought.
There is, yeah. They've got tons of them.
Yeah.
Because Sawyer's not dead. Sawyer's dead by the end of the episode.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed in the fact that he wasn't dead in the episode. Just not even because I dislike him that much, more just because it felt like he died in that moment last episode, and then here he was just, it's just a bit beaten up.
I'm fine with it just because, like, I like his ending in this. I like him.
Yeah, long term, it's obviously not important. I just felt like it undercut the moment from last episode a little bit because, when he showed up and he was alive, I was like, oh, that's weird. I got to knock off some points for all the praise I was heaping on the action last episode because now it wasn't as clear as I thought.
One thing wasn't as clear.
Yeah, but it was the grand finale to the action scene.
I don't think he was definitely dead last episode, though, to be fair. I don't think that was like why I got
mean,
from
we talked about how he was next to a car exploding and went flying.
It went fly. That's not necessarily death. Not a TV show. That's not necessarily death.
Ugh, I know, but it felt like a death with the scene, so I was disappointed.
In a movie or a TV show, that is like it's not real world logic. I'm just saying that in a movie and a TV show, I expect people to get up from that. It's kind of like how in movies and TV shows, people can get punched in the head and be knocked out kind of reliably without any lasting defects.
Hey, you don't know they don't have lasting defects. We just don't see them long enough to understand that.
Oh, that's what we read. We read the old folks' home, like Expendables, where like everyone who's been knocked out in these movies like teams up and they're all in hospital because they all have like conditions.
Yeah, you don't know that doesn't happen.
So they break out. They take a little detour to see Hannah's mother's grave because it's nearby, and they have kind of a sweet moment there. And everything with Eric in this episode, like if we weren't convinced that he was dying before the ending, like every single time he looked at his wound, every single time that the music came in, it was like, no,
okay.
He knows he's dying. He's lying to her about it as much as he can, but he knows he's on his way out, and he wants to do this before he goes. That was the kind of feeling of it. So, I mean, I probably cared more about Eric in this episode than I ever have, which is good because it's it's where he has his death.
It's presumably when you need to care about him the most, right?
Yeah. But, given that he was kind of like maybe hit or miss a little bit throughout the show, it was nice to kind of give a shit just before he goes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It has a bit of I wouldn't quite call it a redemption, but maybe shows kind of his truer side, perhaps, towards the end.
Yeah, it's not really redemption because you were never really against him. He was never villainous, right? It was always kind of survival, and it was always for Hanna for the most part. So, more just a little bit more genuine.
Yeah, because it was the one thing that was frustrating about him was how he never would tell her anything. It was always frustrating that he would just not tell her the truth about where she was from. And she kind of uncovered stuff herself, and he confirmed it last episode. But this episode, like I say, when he pulls out that bit of paper at the start, it's like, no, all cards are on the table now. He's not holding back.
Yeah, it's different from him just confirming things that she already knows to actually just giving her new information. It's a different level.
Yeah, so and there's this fun stuff where 249 does have this like good super hearing. She can she can hear like, the doctor across in this other part of the building. It's kind of like it's one of the other pod, right? Because we talked about how it was like 4 pods last episode. She's looking across from a window. It's a good 50 feet, something like that, until this window. And he's behind that closed window, and she's hearing like the opening of the bottle, the clanking of the glass, and like she's hearing everything.
Like I said, it really played like Superman hearing.
It really did, and I'm looking forward to season 2 and how they use this, because she does survive and she's out with Hanna. She's kind of like Hannah's one partner now.
Yes,
now that Eric's gone.
I suspect that she will be training Hanna. Like Eric trained Hanna in sense of basics, right, and survivability, and all that stuff, and she'll teach Hanna in the more nuance in the abilities, I guess.
Bizarrely, I think it's going to be an equal relationship in terms of teaching.
Oh yeah, she'll teach her about the world and society a bit, and surviving outside of Utrax.
And maybe even languages. We don't know if they're training them with languages necessarily in the base, like Eric was.
I would suspect yes, just because I feel like this organization would want to just be able to drop them wherever.
You would think so. Maybe it was different languages. Maybe it's languages not gotten to yet. I don't know. Could be, I feel like they're going to have a lot to offer each other in terms of experience.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Because the final shot of the episode is them walking, holding hands, like into the forest, and that's where we started. We started in a forest.
Yeah.
So it's got this cyclical kind of feeling to it. But all the action when they get into the base and jumping over the fence, and Hannah's like jumping down from the tree and attacking the guys, and they're going through the building. It's very confidence in its direction, but like Hannah's very confident, and that makes it kind of like it always feels that she's taking the lead and Eric's just kind of following her charge, and that feels good. It feels like he's trusting her to do it, just make the choices.
No, I agree. Yeah. You mentioned the direction there in the action. I think it's interesting that the first half of the season, so we kept saying the action's good, but it felt slightly off. There was some weird edits here or there, or just there was often just something kind of taking away from it. I think these last 2 episodes finally kind of nailed it. The action was pretty excellent.
Yeah, I wonder if that's just a case of them finding their feet with the action, or was it almost an intentional thing where it feels kind of off at first, but as they get more confident in the characters,
could be, yeah.
If it's intentional, it's a weird choice because it just felt a bit off. But
yeah, it's a weird. I can understand the logic of the choice, but I don't think I like the choice.
Yeah, and yeah, so like Sawyer shows up and makes all the trainees evacuate. One does die because she does attack Eric, and it's actually 249 who takes her out. But the rest of them all go. Hanna does acknowledge that they're all female. There's no boys at this thing. I think I said this last time, but I'd probably speculate that it's something to do with genetics, and like the enhancements only took. Unless there's like a boy camp somewhere, like
there could be. Like I said, we know it's genetic and mutations. I wonder if it's on a chromosomal level, because that's the big obvious difference, right?
Well, it seems like everyone involved, like everything always happened when the mother was still pregnant with them. That's like where they started doing treatments. That's the impression I'm getting. Not that obviously a mother can't pass something to her son, because of course she can, but I wonder if that's also a big part of it.
I wonder if it's a side effect, because obviously all fetuses, they start essentially as female, right, and then develop into male as they go on. Some of them. That's
but half of them.
Well, half, give or take, yeah. But that's essentially the reason men have nipples, because they started and it's like, you don't need those anymore. But too late. That
was not a sentence I was expecting on this last review of Hanna. That's why men have nipples.
Right, but that's essentially the reason. It's too late. Well, you got them now. I'm wondering if whatever they're doing genetically in the experiment kind of stops that process of, okay, no, there's no chance they can develop into it.
I would only dispute that in the sense that I felt like Hannah's mother was further along than I would. I'd expect that if it was going to be.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel choosing girls.
I think so. I think I think they're making their choices on candidates based on when they're at the point where they can actually tell what the gender is before they before they give birth.
And that begs the question of, okay, why are they choosing girls more specific? Because it's a choice then rather than a side effect.
Yeah, which is why I'm thinking maybe they tried it with boys and it just didn't work.
Could be, yeah.
And that's just the simple reason why. Here's a question: why is 249 different? Why has she got
Self-awareness, kind of.
self-awareness? Yeah, there you go. That was what I was looking for.
Yeah, because it's she still understands the pull of all the commands. The brainwashing just didn't quite take with her, maybe, or she kind of managed to kind of break free of the brainwashing a little bit.
I wonder if that's something we delve into in season 2. Is there something different about her parents maybe that give her this? Is it just a by chance thing?
I can see it being by chance. Just okay, we got that many people.
Yeah.
The guys there are constantly saying, no, we don't want to leave them on their own because we're not 100% sure that this will take, right?
Yeah.
They're constantly warning them, don't just leave them, don't leave them unattended. We need to be giving them orders. We need to be reinforcing this constantly. So it could be just a case of they weren't fully conditioned.
It could be that the rest of them might have eventually done the same thing as her, but they just needed an extra day or two, or whatever to get there. Yeah. No, it's interesting. I like her having like an ally like this, but I also like that we now know there's an army of evil Hannas that are going to cause problems, because it means that until now, Hanna typically when she gets into a fight with like a room full of armed guards has an easy time of it. Like it feels like nothing can beat her. But you put a whole army of her in a room, then we're in a fight.
Arguably, maybe better trained hers.
And better trained hers, yeah. So,
obviously, we never watched the movie. I mean, I think you said you've seen some of it, right?
I saw the first 20-30 minutes of it a long time ago.
I'm fascinated. Is this kind of where the movie ended? Because I can see that as the end of a movie, right? Okay, no, we do the Utrax base, we free what we can, and you go off into the sunset, and, not into the sunset, this at the end of with the forest, right? Okay, no, they go off, and that's that.
Yeah,
that's a solid ending to a movie.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's almost pointless speculating because people watching this review or listening to it will know the ending of the movie, but I could almost equally see it being without the Utrax-based stuff, but it still kind of ends with the father dying and being buried at the grave of the mother. I can still see that being at the end of the movie.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these beats are the end of movie beats, which interests me because maybe I'm completely wrong, but it feels like to me season 2 is maybe kind of off track, like post movie. I don't know. Someone can let us know
if we didn't already pass into that already.
Yeah.
But I think the show, like we talked last episode, we had a bit of a lull in the middle, right? But I feel like the sort of upswing back for the last couple of episodes is probably the strongest part of the show.
Yes, I agree. I think these last couple are stronger than the first couple, for sure. Yeah.
Which is exciting to get to season 2. It feels like, okay, the show's becoming what it wants to be. Like, this was the origin story, and now we're here where, okay, and, we have to talk about Marissa, and, like, she shows up and saves Hanna and crew. She shoots Sawyer, which, of course, she clearly wants to do. And then afterwards, she, like, calls, I'll refer to it as the Amanda Waller until we actually know who this is, but she calls her and says, oh, no, like, Sawyer's dead, they got away, I'm here, though, and it seems like she's positioned herself to get back onto the like she's going to be in charge of the Utrax and all the recruits now, right? That's what she's. I expect we're going to start season 2 with her being in that position, having sort of wrangled her way in from here.
I assume we're going to play with the whole. Okay, is she actually kind of on their side, or is this all just a bit part of a larger ploy to get her back in power?
Yeah, that's kind of where I left with her, and I think my instinct right now is that she does care about Hanna. And she does actually want to help them. So I guess the question is like, is she taking the control of the project to ensure that she has some say into treating these people properly
for noble reasons?
For noble reasons, yeah. Or is this still kind of the heinous side of her, where she just wants to be in charge and she just wants to, her career to be unlocked?
Yeah, I mean, my gut instinct was the former.
Mine too, and I think it's because
she could have just killed these two girls and still claimed, Sawyer's dead, but I'm here now, sorted.
Yeah, I think I like the idea of her being there in charge because she wants to try and trust herself with keeping an eye on the girls and making sure they're being treated well and maybe give them freedom eventually. But also I like the idea of her actually being a sort of uneasy ally to Hanna that Hanna will call upon and she will help her from the inside, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I could totally see that being a thing.
That's what I would expect to happen in season 2.
Yeah. And So no, I'm excited about that because I am excited that it was Marissa who survived and we get to do more story with over Eric. I think that was the right choice.
No, I get it. It was the more obvious choice for sure. Yeah.
I kind of love how they steal a coach. So that when they break out all the, I mean, they wouldn't have even fit in that coach, given when we saw how many there was. But to their credit, they only had one bit of paper that had like 8 candidates on it, so they thought they were covered.
Yeah.
Turned out there was more like 40 or 50. But
yeah, there was quite a few.
But I appreciate that. No, I like this finale quite a bit actually. I thought it.
No, me too.
And I think because it was kind of structured like a movie, it did have this benefit of just being the big final act as one episode.
Yeah. Like I said, there's pros and cons to that, right? You know, it suffered in the middle.
Yeah.
But it had a really strong ending because of those things.
Yeah, the last two are really good.
Yeah.
And you know the actual ending where like 249 helps her dig the grave for Eric is kind of sweet, and they refuse to leave him behind because I almost second guessed myself when they actually pick him up and start leaving with him. I was like, oh, is he actually going to survive somehow? And he doesn't. But it was like, no, we're not leaving him behind. We're going to take him somewhere and bury him next to, because Hannah's trying to get to the hospital and he's like, just put me next to her, put me next to your mother. And that's what she does. I like the idea of the grave digger walking through the cemetery the next day and be like,
where the hell's this come from?
I didn't dig that grave.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask questions. Too much paperwork.
Yeah, not my problem. I think it's safe to say this is the best Amazon show we've covered so far.
Is that including Homecoming?
It's hard to compare Homecoming with a lot of them because it's such a different beast.
It is a different beast. I would still say Homecoming's the best Amazon show, but I think this is the second best.
That's fair. Maybe soon to be dethroned though.
Well, Nicholas Winding Refn and Ed Brubaker are coming in hot next month.
Yep, just a couple of weeks away, right?
Yep. Too Old to Die Young. If you enjoy us covering Amazon shows, well, there's another big one coming next month.
I'm trying to find a date, so it's the 14th.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, 14th.
There you go. 14th of June. So we'll start covering that show. Yep. Yeah. No, it was a good show. Good finale.
Well, this has been renewed, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was renewed like a month ago or something like that.
Yeah, it was very quickly. It got renewed, I think.
Yeah. And then of course there's the big action scene in the training grounds where there's just like SWAT dudes coming in from every side and.
Yeah.
Hanna and 249 are just doing their thing. Looking pretty.
It's a lot of fun.
Now, also, it's kind of funny to me how this show is almost treated like that tracksuit she's wearing as like as her superhero suit because she didn't have it for like all until the last episode, and then she picked it. And there's kind of like a moment out of it, and now she's running around in all this badass shit in this tracksuit. I don't know.
Yeah. Like last episode when she showed up in the car and pulled out the gun and just started blasting into them, and then obviously this episode.
Yeah. So maybe we'll see that tracksuit stick around. But...
That's something else I noticed actually. I spoke last episode about the music on the action sequence. It did it again in this one, and I feel like it wasn't doing that earlier in the season, being set to a song like that. It was more actual score, whereas these were set to like backing songs. Yeah,
it's almost like they're saying that now she's so confident that it's kind of cool. Like it wasn't cool before. Now it's cool.
And I think that helped with the flow and the edit quite a lot.
Yeah, probably.
With having the music. It just it feels very different to the fight scenes earlier on. But they were more fun.
Yeah, that was good. So that is the Hanna season finale. So let us know what you thought of it in the comments below. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. Get us on the Twitters at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the show and the channel, everything we do here, head over to patreon.com/mailfuzztv. We can support us for as little as $1 per month. Get some bonuses, get some early stuff, and just otherwise keep the lights on. But probably worth mentioning, if you listen to the audio feed of this, there's also a Netflix reviews audio feed, which has been quiet for like a month now because it just depends when things are coming out. But we're about to have like Black Mirror and then
Dark
Stranger Things all hitting. So if you're interested in those Netflix shows, go check out that audio feed, or just stay in the YouTube channel because everything's there. But otherwise, so thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV, guys. Have you got anything on?